Hey, what's up guys, DiplexHeated here again. I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro. Welcome to the first episode out of 3 in my first mini-series that I just like to call RobZ Realism Mod Battle Series. We're in North Africa, the year is 1942. And during these 3 episodes, we will witness fights between the German Africa Corps and the 1st U.S. Armored Division. Everything will be as realistic as possible. We're going to be using the equipment from the year that they had available to them, and of course in that region. So we're in North Africa. We're in 1942. I believe during Operation Torch or the Tunisian campaign, where these guys were, of course, present and very active. So we're going to be using equipment from those years. Don't expect any crazy-ass tanks or other kinds of infantry weaponry. We've got the standards here, and I think it'll be just enough to get us going. The first episode here, we're doing an assault, as you could tell previously. The 1st U.S. Armored Division is going up against the German Africa Corps here, currently defending this town. And over the other 2 episodes out of 3, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do. We might do a meeting engagement in the center where we'll have both sides fully mounted up and mechanized attacking each other in an open area or some kind. And that'll always turn out differently, which is really nice. But the first episode, we're doing an assault. 3rd episode, I think we're going to do an assault again, but that time we'll do the Germans attacking the U.S. So we'll do like first one faction attacks the other, meeting engagement where both factions just engage each other in an open field. And the 3rd out of the 3rd, and the final, obviously, will do that turned around where the first faction that attacked gets attacked. So it'll be fair in that sense. But while we're talking about fair, it seems to be a big issue here over on YouTube with my viewers, well, that being you guys, when it comes to fair battles. Know this, war isn't fair to begin with. If war was fair, no one would win. Second of all, we have 2 completely different factions here. I mean, what separates them is essentially a gigantic ocean, all right? They have different technology, different constructions, different technology. I mentioned that first, to their tanks and weaponry. And obviously, they acted different during different years. This is 1942 in North Africa. Germany had different small arms and armor than America. So it will never be fully fair, but I will aim to make it as fair as possible by sort of differentiating, yeah, that's the word for it, numbers and assets deployed to the field. I will never make a 20-80% video, that being, or meaning rather, that one faction stands 20% chance of winning or losing, while the other one obviously stands 20% or 80% of winning and losing. So we're going to aim to do 50-50, which is almost impossible, there being so many different assets and vehicles that can never really fully head toe-to-toe. And in many cases, it'll be about 40 to 60% chance of winning or losing, which still is a great chance of winning. 40% will get picked 4 out of 10 times, which is quite a lot. But with there being percentages and all that, it's, you know, they never think about the previous. So, oh, it's 40%. He was picked this time. He won. He had a 40% chance. If there's another time, the chance and randomness of life will never take that previous winning granted. So essentially, the one that has a 40% chance of winning could win 9 out of 10 times if it gets picked. That's the beauty of percentage and chance and all that stuff. But now we're getting too far off topic, I'm thinking here. So, first episode, we got the Germans being attacked here. And something that's special about this mini battle series here that you'll notice is that we're not going to be ever showing any HUD. It'll be completely HUD free. The only thing that you'll see will be the sort of damage indicators above vehicles so that you get a fair idea of what's going on. But there's not going to be a minimap. There's not going to be any HUD down here. There's not going to be any unit icons. So it's going to be probably my most cinematic battle experience so far. And hopefully the most realistic World War II one I've done too. So, here it is, first episode. We're in North Africa. We're doing an assault game mode, 1 out of 3. Germany's being attacked by the U.S. Coming up after this, we have a meeting engagement between the 2, that being German Africa Corps and, of course, the U.S. 1st Armored Division. And in the 3rd video, we're swapping the tables around, and we'll put Jerry up against G.I. Joe here, and we'll see if they can stand the attack as well as the Germans will or not. We'll see who does what in the first and foremost battle here in this series. I am super excited to bring you this, guys. So without further ado, let's click that start button. And the U.S. 1st Armored Infantry Division, or just Armored Division rather, is heading in. It's got some mechanized infantry, some M3 Stuarts, light tanks, and of course the good old classic M4A1 Sherman. One of the most basic ones here deployed in North Africa in 1942. And it looks like the first part to near the Germans will be a small infantry section and a light tank scouting out. And I think it's already found some targets. It is indeed engaging. It's going to be taking the height here to try and go for the high ground. Oh, tank hit. Sherman's coming up with some more infantry backing up. I believe the Panzer IIIs are now engaging the Stuart, but it bounced. Crew's been injured, one shell penetrated. The big old Sherman's coming up behind here with some heavier firepower from that 75mm gun. Ooh. Firing some heavy ordnance downrange here. Panzer III is about to take up the fire, and it is quickly dealt with there from a various amount of firepower from the US side here. Hit by several different targets. Half-tracks and infantry's coming up behind. We're going to look further down here. Light tanks, infantry, and half-tracks coming in for the south. And further in this direction, I believe Jerry is scrambling all their assets into town right now. Infantry spread out. The town was quickly brought to life after a calm Monday morning. We have a half-track back here is opening up quite heavily, but the crew is bailing. It is on fire. There's no longer any point in serving the fatherland inside a burning half-track there with an autocannon. You might have forgot something, but you realize that's not a good idea. One Sherman is just breaking through the town right now. It's about to head into the more fortified center, where the Germans have deployed their Pak 38s. Very deadly AT guns there. This Sherman is just going to run through one building like it's not a problem, and he's going to go toe-to-toe up against this Pak 38. We'll see who comes out winner of that one, and the 38 knocks out the Sherman and really makes it, for what it's worth here, a Tommy cooker. No one is going to survive that. That's a very gruesome way to go down. Another M3 and Sherman's heading into town. I'm not sure the Sherman has fully spotted that Pak 38, and it's going to have another go at the Sherman. Panzer III, though, is catching their attention, but that Sherman's turning around to face the Pak 38. Doesn't quite fully spot it. It has it in its range now. Something tells me this one's taken out. Yep, the crew has been killed. At least 1 out of 2. See another man back here patching himself up. And he's quickly shot down by the second Sherman back there. Third Panzer has been dealt with. And we see another light tank down here in the center with its crew bailed out. More towards the town center here, we see the second Pak 38 gearing up, and it takes down a second Sherman. The crew's bailing out. It's burning. It is full-out panic. But with the third and final Sherman coming up behind, the German AT has now been fully neutralized. The Germans will have to rely on Panzerfausts and infantry AT grenades to finally deal with the US armor, if that's now a possibility. Let's look further up in here. More of the lighter infantry and half-tracks are starting to arrive. We see the Willys MB here, where the 30 cal mounted is running around. We're looking for some German infantry hiding around the ruins. More explosions further inland there as the Shermans and half-tracks are making their way into the town. U.S. infantry are scrambling around. MG, MG! Well, of course there are more German defenders in the town. We have an MG gunner up in this building here. He's going to be laying down some fire at the advancing U.S. troops. I believe he's been spotted, though, by the 30 cal and the Sherman. And as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather be inside this Tommy cooker than that African building. Some 50 cal fire here from the half tracks, suppressing that window, but it's taking some returning fire. Oh, that MG gunner's nearly trying to hit this gunner here. All they need is some good supportive fire, and that MG gunner is dead for. More German infantry spotted to the right, quickly dealt with. Some of the tank crewmen here are taking this very personal. Obviously, want to bring their fair share to the table here. Colt 45s, we'll see how they can do. More suppressive fire. The Sherman might just run him over. Fire's coming in through the windows. And he's finally dealt with a 50 caliber bullet, hit him, and that turns you, well, that turns you facing the grave, so to speak. He is dead and gone for it. The rest of the town looks fairly well secured. Here's a half track that has been not abandoned, but the gunner has died, so it has currently stopped. We got some more infantry linking up with some of the bailed out crew members here in the center, checking out some of the casualties. Back here we got more U.S. infantry coming in, checking out the area. They're very split at the moment, but there's a lot spread out through the town. We're going to be taking a look at casualties back here. We see some more U.S. infantry heading in for the center. Here's a half track without a driver and gunner, but it seems to be fully operational. Looking out here further the end of the town, we don't see any casualties. Here's what where the AT cannon stopped to engage some of the German armor, and it's still providing support from back there. From what I can tell, it seems as if the U.S. have secured the town, but obviously taking a lot of casualties. 2 Shermans down, and I believe both light tanks are fully disabled. Nope. Oh, I was right. Yep, this is the Sherman. Heading for the outskirts of the town. We got another half track alive. It's been a hectic and gruesome battle. We are going to hold in V here to check out some of the casualties. Indeed we are. Right, so the way we separate this is, of course, by doing this. The yellow right now, as you can see, are all German casualties. So mainly infantry here in towards the center of town, where they've gone down to some quite superior firepower in terms of the light tanks and Shermans rolling in. There's obviously a few scattered Americans around the place here too. As you can tell, they've tried to go in and secure the center of this town, where they've probably met some German small arms fire, which have led to a bit of a hectic shootout and a few too many casualties down there in a central place. Lots of Germans dead around the vehicles. They really stood no chance against the advancing Shermans. And as we're looking at the outskirts of the town here, way many more dead U.S. soldiers, obviously advancing in open ground. Not a lot of cover, but in general, a pretty good trade, I'd say, for the U.S. here. Losing quite a lot of tanks, though. But coming out victorious. I hope you guys enjoyed this first part. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We will be doing another battle series after this, and I believe it's up to you to choose what you want to see. We could be in Western France, we could be in the Eastern Front in Russia, we could be in Norway, the Pacific, you name it. There are so many places where it could be at so many different years and points during World War II with so many different battle groups and different setups. So I hope you enjoyed this. The armor is going to gather up with some of the infantry in the center, and I guess call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon again. Bye.